Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swaglock, and with me in the studio today, we have the one, the only, Flappy Bird himself, Chicken. Dude, what is up?
Flappy Bird. Hey, Flappy Bird was like a sensation.
It was.
Like Fellowship, right?
Sort of. I think the thing with Flappy Bird, for those who don't know, is like this random mobile game, like at the earliest days of like mobile games.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Right? But Flappy Bird was just like, because it blew up in popularity, but the guy who made it didn't really want it to get that popular, and so he just like nuked it off the App Store, and so like people were selling their phones, like they were selling their phones with the game, yeah. And now there's like a billion versions of Flappy Bird that exist, like
yeah,
it's whatever now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
old Flappy Bird.
Good old Flaps, brother? Good old Flaps. But Chicken, dude, what have you been up to in World of Warcraft this week?
Oh, it's kind of weird. This is why I'm not the biggest fan of recording the podcast on like a Sunday, and then again recording the podcast on like a Friday, because
you don't get that whole
typically,
weekend.
What'd you say?
You don't get the whole weekend.
Typically, like, I don't play too much like Monday through Thursday. Like, I play a little bit Thursday night, but typically Monday through Thursday, I don't play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of work schedule. I wake up pretty early to work. I just, I work long days, so
absolutely.
I just don't have a lot of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like sitting here like, do I lie? Do I say I did so much in World of Warcraft and just kind of not be honest? But granted, I can say between the last podcast and this one, I did it. I got the Glory of the Delves achievement. Let's go.
Ooh. I did. Actually, I was online. I was online when I saw you get that. I don't remember who I was talking to. I don't remember what I was doing. I just remember seeing you get that achievement, and I was like, yo, what a surprise. Chicken the Delver, dude. Those
dude.
The faithful fathers out there in the chat are proud of you right now. You're one of them.
Oh, faithful fathers, bold and true.
Yeah, it was rough. I only had one scenario to go through, and I'm pretty sure the last podcast I said that I only had one scenario left and one delve. And I'm pretty sure what had happened was I didn't play last Thursday because I was just so exhausted. And I'm pretty sure Thursday, or no, it was Wednesday. Last Wednesday was when that scenario happened. So I looked all weekend like, oh, I got to make sure the scenario is going to be this weekend. And then it just never was until like Monday. And then Monday's reset. And then Monday I got on and I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to play this delve and then I'm going to get off. And that's
normally you don't game on Mondays, correct? Normally Mondays is
Mondays are
time.
Definitely a no game day, even though, like I said, I'm on this like new schedule of work, and really no weekday is a game day at this moment. Other than Thursdays. I try to get on Thursday night.
That makes sense.
But my schedule at work is going to change again here early next year, and then I'll probably end up start gaming again more during the week, just because I won't have to get up near as early as I do now.
Right, because you're moving to a 6-day work week, but only 4 hours a day.
No.
That'd be nice.
Although I might support that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would maybe support 6 days a week, 4 hours a day.
Right, because the problem is you're giving up. You're like, once you have to work that day, it's not like you can do a thing that day. But at the same time, you have more
days. 4 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Only 4 hours, dude.
You can get that knocked out before lunchtime.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
Easy.
And still sleep in, right?
And yeah, right? Because what would that be? You have to be at work at 8, right? So, yeah, not too bad.
8 to noon, yeah.
Right, so if you wake up, if you set your alarm to wake up, what time, like 7:50?
Yeah.
Get out of bed, get dressed, leave the house at 7:55, right? Dragon ride
to work.
Yeah, get a mage portal to work. Easy, dude. 5 minutes to make your coffee at work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're just trolling right now. Oh, but anyways, I remember seeing that. So, question for you. This is a question coming in from the faithful fathers who listen to this podcast. They want to know, do you think you would be as successful in Delves if you didn't have children?
What do you mean?
Do you think that you would have become such an accomplished delver, an achieved delver, some would even say, if you weren't a father?
I would hope. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Quite the conundrum, yeah. I mean, if you're listening to the podcast, listener, do you think Chicken would be as successful if it wasn't for the power of dadhood?
I mean, I will say the last delve that I did to get the achievement, my son was sitting on my lap while I did it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You're ranked among the greatest of delve dads. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
No, I think it's funny how like a random offhanded comment I made last episode was this like highlight of the episode about all the dads who.
Wait, was it?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
people mention it?
Yeah, last episode I made like a comment about like dads doing delves.
Oh no, I remember that,
Faithful
but
Fathers. Yeah.
I didn't hear
Rack
anyone
even was
say...
making like graphics for it and stuff for the Discord.
What?
Yeah, dude. There's like graphics. There's a song in the Discord now for it.
No, there's not. Stop.
Yeah, dude.
I don't
Go to the photo screenshots channel and scroll up. Right there. There's like two graphics. There's delves of the Faithful Fathers, and then there's another one somewhere else. It's not in that channel, but there's another one in another channel. Oh, in the general chat.
Oh, I see it. Oh my god.
Of like a human in Warcraft sitting next to his hearth with a Nintendo Switch in hand.
Oh my gosh, I see both of those.
Yeah.
Oh dang, I didn't, dude. I'm bad at like checking Discord during the week too because I feel like I just like get rid of notifications and I'm like, oh yeah, I checked
missed
Discord.
Everything. I missed it all. I just hit clear all.
Dang, dude, that's pretty cool. I actually really like that.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's a correlation. I'm noticing it. I'm not shaming it. I think it's a cool thing. I think it's cool. I'm just acknowledging that there is a correlation between dads and delves. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
There was something that you said last week about delves that I even kind of related with. It was definitely a you thing, but I kind of related to it with it, like in a sense where like you just said like the delve storylines, even though they're like different all the time, are still kind of like trash and they have no reason to like correlate to the actual storyline whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about that and I was like, he's kind of right.
Dude, when have I ever been wrong?
Like, I feel like I'm not a big lore person, but you like definitely like dungeons still tie into the storyline like pretty much 99% of the time, right?
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, why don't delves do that? That's kind of weird.
Well, that was kind of the question I was asking last episode. And by the way, I want to say, like, last episode, having Erratic on, he was a great guest.
Yeah, dude, that was a good episode. He was a good guest.
I really enjoyed it. And I know I've said this about a good handful of guests. One, we've had some phenomenal guests on the podcast. So,
oh, yeah, dude. We had the best guests.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very thankful for that. But also, there are certain guests, Erratic is one for sure, that we've had on the podcast who are just the easiest conversations. Like, you just, like, even like last week, dude, we could have gone so much longer. We just had to cut it short because we knew, like, we had other stuff going on, which is why we didn't even get into, like, WoW news and stuff last week. But, like, dude, there are just certain people, and he was one of them. I'm thankful that he popped on last week just to have that conversation. That was, there was so much more I feel like we could have talked with him about. I had to chuckle because, like, he, like, PvP is his thing. Like, he's a PvPer. That's what he loves to talk about. That's what he knows. But he's definitely running like PvE content at an even harder scale than you and I are doing.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty good.
No, like I did chuckle at that too.
Yeah.
Like especially when he was like, "Oh, like I run delves differently than you," and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I just do it for the crest. Like I run 11s," and I was like, "I mean, I do that too, but like you definitely do seem like you are a lot more versed in PvE than we are at the moment."
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, everybody plays this game so differently, right? And it's fun to just encounter all of it. And what I was saying too was about the delves is I just feel like, and I think it made sense for the first expansion that we had delves because maybe they just weren't sure. But I think if you really want people to love delves, they need to encompass some of that lore equation, right? They really
like at least one storyline could be like driven by, like one scenario could be driven by like the storyline. It doesn't have to be every single one because that would be kind of difficult, but
it would.
Just one.
But also think about like
Right.
how many like loose ends are kind of left, and like how many characters could have had like more of a highlight, going on in the delves or with what's happening. And do you need to have? And these are questions that maybe add too much work to Blizzard. But do you need to have one specific character that comes along with you in the delve, or could it even theoretically, like, could the delve theoretically be like, yo, we've created like one of each class, right? So there's a shaman, there's a priest, there's a paladin, whatever, right? One of each class. So that way we can just throw any random character in there from lore as your like delve buddy, right? So it's like, oh, in this one, you need Thrall to run with you. So you get the shaman build, right? Or this one, you need Turalian to go with you. So you get the paladin build, right? Now, maybe I'm oversimplifying it. That's probably a lot of the work on Blizzard's part. So I'm not necessarily asking for that. What I am saying, though, is like, I just feel like there's story to be told, and the delves just don't tell any story. They're kind of right, and that's what.
Or it's like lackluster story at that,
right? And there's an irony to that, because right now the way dungeons are treated, dungeons are like a speedrunning thing, and I don't say that negatively. I really enjoy M+. I think M+ is fun, so I'm not saying that as like, yo, dungeons suck because everybody just wants to speedrun them. I know that crowd is out there. That crowd is not me. If that crowd is you, I understand. I respect that. I like dungeons. I like M+. I understand why people speedrun normal and heroic dungeons even. But dungeons kind of are that now. And I like having story in the dungeons. Yeah. They build a world for me. I like the dungeons because you live in that dungeon for a minute. I like it feeling like a world. At the same time, the players who really, really want to take dungeons slower, who want to experience what the dungeon has to offer, who are annoyed, right? The players who are annoyed by the speedrunning norms in dungeons right now, they're the ones in delves, right? They're the ones who are going like, dude, delves are just comfortable, they're relaxing, they're easy. And those players, I just think, would enjoy so much if the delves actually played into the story, and if the delves were like a part of what was going on in the overarching story. Like, you go into the delve and you actually have to like free this person who now causes a issue later, right? Now maybe you freed somebody in the delve because they had to help you kill this boss in the delve, but now all of a sudden that person you freed is like a villain, right? Who's going to cause trouble later in the story. Or you know that there's an issue going on with these creatures, and part of like a quest line dealt with some of it, but not all of it. And so you go into the delve and you kind of complete it or you finish it. I just think there's so much more. I think delves could be more for the story and have more lore implications and have reasons for players to slow down sometimes and read things and check things and look at stuff and like explore things. I think delves offer that, and they're just not doing it, which is interesting to me. But anyways, that's all I have to say about that topic. Unless you have thoughts, and then I'll say more.
It's kind of cool because, like, I feel like at the end of every storyline, or at least like historically, I don't know if it's been more recently, but like every time I do like a storyline and like remix, or like when you do like BFA, it like always like the end of the storyline is like, oh, go fight this guy, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I'll go do that, and then you're like, oh wait, this is a dungeon, like I can't just like do this by myself. They could easily just like be like, oh hey, this is actually a delve and it's easy to do by yourself.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
That could easily be a thing. Like, honestly, like, and I don't even hate it, right? Like, I feel like I would much prefer that.
Yeah. If the quest, and by the way, those are always like optional, right? Like, those are always like, oh, at some point you should go in here optional, but the story continues on. Now head to Hallowfall and see what's happening there, right? Because I think, right? Because you I think you get the quest to kind of go kill the guy. I think I'm right on this, right? In Ringing Deeps, you get the quest to go into Stone Vault and kill the guy and whatever. But then the game just takes you to Hallowfall real quick, and it's like, yeah, if you want to do that, you can go do that. But like,
I think it's the same way with like the meadery. Like, you get the option to like do that guy after you help the earthen people before you go to the next.
But the interesting thing with delves though is like it doesn't have to be optional, right?
Yeah.
Like with a delve, you could say no. Like these 3 of 8 delves, I don't know how many delves are. Let's say there's 8 though, like dungeons. These 3 delves are required parts of the story. And so you have to actually go in and complete them before you go on to the next part of the story. But like, it's so easy. You don't have to deal with other players. You don't have to form a group. You don't even have to get lost because it's just so straightforward to go into a delve, right? To me, that's just like, I don't know. It's such an easy win for Blizzard to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's so much better in doing that than being like, oh, here's like an optional side quest that you can just go and do the same thing, basically.
Yes.
Nah. Hey, Blizzard's always listening.
They listen to our podcast.
Do it. I feel like there was something else last week that I was like, Blizzard, you should do this, but I forget what it was. Oh my goodness.
I got nothing.
I don't know.
I couldn't.
Yeah,
tell.
I don't want to like.
No.
Yeah, I don't
no
want to.
clue.
I don't want to think about it too long.
So,
anyways, what'd you get into this week in the world of Warcraft?
yeah, not too crazy much. Just been doing some relatively easy keys, kind of keeping up with 10s. I just pushed one right before this recording, so I have a 12 in my bag. So I think Sunday during our guild event, I'll probably try and run 12s this week and just get into a group and do that, which I think will be good. I opted to not till last week because as I started to form the groups, I was like, it works out perfectly if I'm not in a group. And I wasn't really in the mood to necessarily throw myself into like a +2 group or anything. It was one of those moments where I was like, I only have so much time, and if I'm not gonna do this, then I might as well go like enjoy it with my wife and watch TV on the couch or something. So
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, so doing some delves or dungeons, not delves. I don't have children yet. I don't have kids, dude. I'm literally like, you have to be a dad to do delves. That's like law.
You have to be a dad. To do
dude.
Delves. Oh,
Dude, the delver dads.
This guy.
But anyways, back to the serious conversation. I have been doing dungeons. I did a little bit of PvP. Started on Erratic's suggestion last week. Did some solo queue battlegrounds. That was fun. I had a fun time in that. I enjoyed that. But not anything too crazy. It's just kind of been, again, work gets like weird in different seasons, and it's definitely one of those seasons where I thought it was gonna be a little more chill than it is, but it isn't. But also, and we were chatting about it a little bit right before we started, I haven't been playing Remix nearly as much as you would think I'd be playing Remix.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that.
And I think a lot of it ultimately is it's a different season of life for me. I mean, I know now it feels like a while ago that I got married, right? Like, what is it now? Like 5 months, maybe 5 months. I got married in June. So yeah, let's say 4 or 5 months, somewhere in that range. It's just a different season of life where I come home and I'm just like, yo, all I want to do is hang out with my spouse. I just want to like chill on the couch with my wife, watch TV or make food together or do something, go out, do something together. And I know that will probably slow down a little bit with time, but just right now in this season, it's very easy to for me to just make the choice to be like, nah, I'm just gonna hang out with my wife. You know what? I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting a big detail. I have been playing a lot of WoW with my wife this week.
Oh.
Yeah, I have been doing that. And the reason why it didn't come to mind first is because all I'm doing when I'm playing with her is I'm just kind of like hanging around the general area that she's questing in, and then just like throwing her like a Riptide heal every once in a while.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't want to like go into a dungeon or start something and then she gets like stuck on something and then I feel bad. So I've just been kind of loitering. I've been loitering in her area while she levels, but she's been having fun. She really wants to get into player housing. So I think she is now level 76. I think she's level 76. Only 4 levels to go. It's slow. I will admit for our listeners, it's a little bit slow. I don't think she's necessarily questing slow or anything. It's just, you know, she doesn't have the 25% XP boost that I'm used to having on my characters. It's her first time.
Dude, you should have just had her make a remix character, I feel like.
I almost thought about that, but then I didn't because that just adds another level of complexity. And I wanted her to feel like she was actually learning the character she's playing.
That's fair.
When she's done this one, we might do remix together. That might be fun to do a little bit of that. Yeah. Just because.
That's
why not?
That's a good opportunity.
And because I don't know necessarily if like super endgamey type stuff is like her joy. And so just finding like what she'll have fun doing. I know she's really excited for player housing. She really wants to do that.
Getting like the Mogs and stuff would be cool though for her.
Yeah, yeah. She actually asked me. She was asking me if it was okay to have a if she was allowed to have a house in our guild neighborhood next to my house. And I was like, yeah, honey, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
you absolutely can. Like, for sure, right? Like, she is so excited about this. She's been like already like looking up stuff and like figuring out what she wants her house to look like. So. That's been cool.
Like, I'd be upset if you didn't want that.
True. You're not wrong.
That's pretty cool, though. I will admit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's pretty dope. I'm glad that you guys are kind of getting into that getting into that rhythm and starting to have fun with it.
Absolutely. So it's been great just doing that. And again, as I said, it's tough because I'm playing WoW. Like on the technically, I'm playing World of Warcraft, but at the same time, I'm just hovering in the area and throwing riptides. But just being with her, right? Just chatting with her and talking through things, answering questions when she has them is great. And she's figuring out all the quests on her own. Like I'm not sitting there doing the quests for her or anything. I just like being in the general area. She like learns her.
Yeah, just in case.
Better.
Like you don't want her to like get like literally like pummeled by everything and then she's just like, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Yeah, and we all know too.
Actually.
I think we all know.
Hard.
Yeah, and we all know the things that that get you trapped when you're a first time through, right? Like your all your armor breaks, but you don't know what armor is or like how armor works, and so you're just like, why am I dying from everything all the time?
Oh yeah, right.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not like you can just like whip out your
yak
grand yak because you don't have a grand yak yet.
Right. Exactly. Right. And so as a seasoned player, I'm just like, oh, let me just mount up real quick and repair my armor and get back to what I'm doing. I have an add-on that like auto repairs it the moment I open the dialogue. Right. Like it's different.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's different for her, right? And so she's learning all these things. She doesn't even fully understand how all of her abilities kind of mesh together and blend. So she's learning that. And anything I can do, because we all know that ZZ gets stuck in those spots. And just like, you, when you were on Rogue, right? That was where you end up getting like just frustrated. Dude. And so, yeah, I'm just running around throwing little riptides on her when her health gets a little low. Or I'll, and I'm not like, I'm trying to be careful not to always heal her because I want her to also understand how her abilities work. But then also like whipping out the repair bear and running up when her armor's like getting in trouble or something, which has been good. So I've just been kind of tagging along, which has been fun. It's like, I know I'm saying it as in like, as if nothing's happening because truly like I'm not accomplishing anything, but I'm just genuinely having a lot of fun doing that with her.
Yeah, no. I mean, it sounds fun. At least it doesn't sound like it's like a chore. Like I like when I first thought like her, I was like, oh, that kind of almost sounds like a chore. But then I was like, nah, that sounds kind of fun. Well, that's good. She's starting to get into it and enjoy it at least amongst player housing or amidst player housing coming.
Dude, I mean, player housing just looks, I think, very, very enticing for a lot of people who traditionally maybe wouldn't be interested in WoW.
Did you end up buying the second what's it called?
Copy of Midnight?
Yeah, I know you like said that you were like considering it because you haven't gotten your what's it called edition yet.
Yeah, no, I assume people will throw a big enough fit when it happens. That Blizzard would be like, oh yeah, because I remember beta last year, they ended up making a concession of some kind where they sent you the code early that could be used or whatever. I imagine something like that is probably going to happen again. So that's what I'm expecting. If it doesn't happen, then I'll figure it out. I did tell my wife that if she hits level 80, I'll get her a pre-order for Midnight, right? So that way she can at least do the player housing when it comes out. I'm hoping I'll have access. Also, the thing that worries me is like what I don't want to is I don't want it to come out and then everyone in the guild gets their plots and then I don't have a plot for player housing, right?
Although, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, we got some more information on it and we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little nervous how that's gonna work. Like, especially within guilds, because I feel like that's all up to the general just consensus of the leadership in the guild and who they want where and how they want where. Like personally, I could care less who my house is next to, blah, 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 all that garbage, right? But like, how is that priority going to be given? Like, is it going to be like purely by first come, first serve? Is it going to be rank? You know,
yeah. Well, and
like
that's
Discord, like
the
Discord
question
rank,
is how
that kind of
much.
stuff.
Yeah, the question is how much control the guild master has, right? So like, if the guild master has a lot of control, I imagine that they probably want to give a chance to the people who are most active and have supported the guild the most over time to like pick out their plots, right?
Yeah.
Which is fair. Like,
I'm just curious,
totally fair
mostly.
to be like, these people have historically been an active part of the guild. We want that plots. Because what you don't want is you don't want like dead accounts just hogging like spaces or somebody who just joined the guild who might disappear again next week, right? At the same time, though, my suspicion is it's probably, for simplicity's sake, just first come, first serve. Right, like once the guild master establishes the neighborhood, or maybe it's automatically established right away. Right, every guild automatically just has it that the first players who log in kind of get first dibs. I'm not sure.
I mean, I think I'd be okay with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have any issue.
How it has to be, unfortunately. But I hope it allows you to like still give some kind of like, oh, we can like choose this versus this. Like, hey, I don't want I don't want to be next to this person because they're a jerk. But at the same time, like, I want to have a little bit of say of where I can go, right?
Yeah, you still get to pick where you're at, right? Like, you're not forced to go wherever you're at. Yeah.
What am I complaining for then?
Yeah. You still absolutely get to pick your plot.
What am I complaining for? Psh.
I don't know, dude. You tell me. You tell me what you're complaining for.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm a little shocked that you're not into remix more than you are. I thought you might want to push like some higher keys, like some 30s, 40s, that kind of deal. But at the same time, I understand like your consensus behind just like raid is not very enjoying and that kind of aspect. But
yeah, the one thing I was feeling inspired to do though after last week is like, dude, I really do want a mythic raid, man. And I don't even need to go far, dude. Let me just get a couple bosses, especially Lumathar. Like, let me for sure get Lumathar down, please. Somebody just let me kill Lumathar so I can go and get that trinket from the turbo boost vendor.
This guy.
Dude? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting the turbo boost trinket?
This guy's like, someone carry me, please.
Yeah, well, I'm not even asking for a carry. I think I can hold my own. I think I'm an okay healer.
That's true. You probably could hold your own.
Right? Like, I'm an okay healer.
Good. You're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm an okay healer. So, like, just, let me, kick somebody out of your guild or something. Let me tag along.
This is a call. If anyone's out there and they have, they got room for a healer.
Dude, that's true. That's true. But yeah, what are you saying?
That would feel kind of bad though, wouldn't it? Like, you're literally just jumping in right in like the end just to be like, hey, I want to be a part of this.
I don't think I'll complain because I want to use my turbo boost dinars, right? Whatever they're called this season. And I don't really want to use them on heroic gear. I
think they're called the same thing. Like, I literally think they're
puzzling
called
cartel chips.
Cartel chips, yeah.
You know what's funny? It probably works because the goblins have cartels, but also the brokers have cartels.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So in like a really weird way, if that's true, it probably works.
Yeah. No, it probably does.
Probably. But anyways, I was saying all of that to say though, like, I want to use them, right? Like, I want to get the thing. So I have no shame. I have no shame in tagging along with someone else's group to get some mythic kills. Like, I'm not gonna pay for it. But I have like absolutely no shame in doing it.
Wait, you're gonna pay?
No. I said I'm not gonna pay to do it.
Oh, you're not gonna pay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard that as I don't mind paying, and I was like, what?
Maybe I did say that, right?
No, I don't know. I think I just heard it that way, and I was like, what?
But yeah, I'm not paying. I'm not gonna pay to I'm not paying for a
You're
carry.
not gonna pay.
But I have no
That
shame
makes
being
sense.
like, oh, this group has space and they're happy to take me along, even if it's kind of like a pity take, like Swag's a nice guy, and we might as well just bring him along. I'll take that. I'll accept it. Anyways, though,
That's nice of you.
yeah, nice of me. I'm begging for a not a carry. I'm begging for a group.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're
I
good.
was like, sometimes I just say things and I'm like, oh, that didn't.
No, yeah, I do it all the time. All the time.
Just like, yes, I agree. And you're just like, what? I just said that you should. Never mind. Anyways, no, that sounds pretty good. Are you ready? Oh, there's one thing that I did want to talk about because it's kind of news, but it's kind of not news. I don't know if you saw the glider mount that got like discovered.
No.
It's one of the like the blah, 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 the cartel gliders. Like it's similar
I see
to
it.
that.
Yeah, Zai Trustee's gear glider mount.
Yeah, and it comes with a toy that literally lets you turn into like a cartel like esque person.
Oh,
And
like
I'm
a
like,
broker?
I feel like I need this.
Turn into a broker. I thought there was an item that turned you into a broker before, I thought I had one, but I can't find it. So maybe it wasn't a thing.
I'm like, I need this like now. So the boy might get it. But the problem is I gotta get to freaking rank like 12 in the raid. Rank 8. I gotta get to rank 8 in the raid. You know how many times I've run the raid?
1.
0.
Dude, you still haven't run the raid?
No.
Dude, join the guild on the Saturday evening raids or something.
See, the problem is, like, I feel like every Saturday more recently, I've just been busy. Like, every Saturday night, I've just had something going on. And that holds true even this Saturday.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. I just can't do it. I need to just dedicate one time to do the raid. That way I get the achievement for it. I'm still trying to go after that, like, War Within meta achievement.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And might work on like the lore master stuff, like all the questing stuff, like when the 0.7 patch comes out, because there'll be turbulent time waves and like the rep will get increased, so that way I can have an easier time with the rep grind. But still, I'm like, oh man, is it worth it? I think I need I think I just need something that I'm like, I did this and I feel proud that I did this. I just need something new like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't felt that way in a while with like, oh, I did this and I feel proud about it. And like, I have this cool thing to show for it. Like, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should get Keystone Legend, but I don't know. Keystone Legend mount this time around kind of looks like doo-doo.
I don't even know what it is. Is it just like a recolor of the Keystone or the Keystone Master?
Yeah,
mount?
it's like a worse recoloring of it, to be honest. In my opinion, I think it looks worse than the KSM mount. Like in season 2, I thought I was like, oh, like this mount does look really cool, right? Like the KSL reskin.
Oh yeah, dude, I literally don't care about the Keystone Master mount this season. It's so lame. It's so lame. I just don't know who looks and goes, that's what I want to ride.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what, though? It flies, so people will be happy.
I just, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, not that I have anything against the mount. It's just, I'm just not a big fan of the Keystone Legend one. And I think that's, like, kind of one of those reasons why I'm like, do I actually want to push for Keystone Legend or not?
Well, I think what's weird is, like, every season we got mounts that were kind of related to that season. Well, at least season 2 we did. I don't know if it was really related to season 1, maybe vaguely. But I don't know what this has to do with season 3. I mean, it's voidy.
I don't know. I've never run the raid.
I don't remember.
I kind of want to get the heroic raid mount too, but I don't know if I'll actually get it. Is it cool? Like the heroic raid mount?
Yeah. It's like the purple voidy dragon with armor.
Oh, that's right.
Cool.
Oh,
cool.
Man. That would be kind of cool to have. Yeah. Maybe I need to push that.
Yeah.
I feel like heroic raid might be kind of hard to push, though.
So, wait. Why exactly have you... Like, is there, like, a reason why you... I guess it's mostly time, right? You haven't been raiding?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like with the guild, or
Yeah.
just
Just
like
in general.
Just in general. Yeah, it's mostly just time. Like it's hard to find time to raid. And I'm not a big person on pugging raid. I'm just not.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
pugging raid feels weird because I feel like it almost takes too long when you pug raid
No, I get
because
that. Yeah.
like when you get into it, half the time people are like, "Oh, like I only needed the first boss." Dude, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The season 2 of Dragonflight with oh my goodness, I can't think of that raid right now. What was it? It was the one with Sekhiroth
Yeah.
or Sarkarath. You know, I forget what the raid is called, but the first boss, dude. Every time I plugged that raid, like literally after the first boss, half the raid would leave. Literally half the raid would leave. I'm just like, this is not enjoyable. Like
That is crazy.
by the time we get to the second boss, it takes like 15 minutes for us to find a new raid group, and I'm like, this is just not enjoyable.
I will say that's a major pet peeve of mine when you're pugging raid and like people just dip after every boss, or like one pull goes wrong, right? Like you get one pull that goes wrong.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
and people are just like, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Yeah, this dead. This raid's dead.
Raid's dead. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, no, it's not. Like, chill out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's the reason why I don't pug raid anymore, and I just don't have time to jump into the guild raids. I was thinking about doing it maybe this weekend, but again, like something always just comes up, and maybe I'll just like do it from my laptop and just say like, sorry family that's over right now. I have bigger things to do. Like raid with the guild.
You do have family over like every weekend, so
I know, dude. It's that time of the year.
that time of the year.
That time of the year, baby. Anyways. So yeah, it's been good. Hey, let's get into some WoW news. Because we didn't get into any last week.
No.
And there is some big WoW news this week. I think the biggest thing is the leak, and it is a leak, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I think it's true, because every time this has been leaked in the past, it's always come that it has been real, and it's, in my opinion, not really necessarily a leak. I think it's just confirmation that hasn't officially come out yet. But we have a leak on the release date for Midnight, and I'm just gonna bring it up because I forget what it is. I think it's January 27th.
Oh wow.
So it's a lot sooner than January 27th.
That is soon.
And there's a WoW article that says like pre-patch, but it looks like, the pre-patch splash screen was leaked or was released, and it announces that the expansion will launch on or before January 27th, which they always say that on or before. Like they've said that before, very specifically on or before, which means it's never before, it's always on. And I think that's pretty clear indication that it's coming July 27th. And that feels pretty soon. Like that's 2 months away. No, 3 months away.
That feels right to me. That actually feels very right to me.
It does.
When we were talking about it originally, I was pretty like, it's got to be that late January, early February, but I was leaning more towards January. And I know a lot of people are like, no, that can't be it. That can't be it. But man, I can tell Blizz wants us to get into it. We have 11.2.7 coming out in, was that like start of December or something?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Right? Start of December is 11.2.7. Blizzard's not going to live there forever. This is not a season 4 11.2.7.
No.
Right? Blizzard doesn't want to live there for 2 months. Blizzard wants to live, maybe 2 months max, right? December, January, then you're done.
I mean,
right?
it'll be like a month and a half, month and 3 weeks.
Right. Blizzard does not want to live there for like 3 months, 4 months, right? They're like, hey, here's 2 months worth of content to do, which includes pre-patch probably. Now you're good to go.
Oh, it
right?
will, because that's like player housing basically. And that makes sense, because I feel like they want player housing to be a thing, and people do all that grind to go back and do the vanilla content before Midnight releases, because I mean, obviously they don't want people doing a bunch of vanilla old content when they spent like they just spent like 2 years trying to make like a brand new expansion, and people were farming like Ice Crown Citadel for an invincible stuffed like taxidermy horse that sits in your bedroom or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you just like that was the weirdest thing you could have said? But
no. I happened to be typing something into our notes when you said it, so my brain was in two spots. So I don't think what you said was that weird. I mean, it makes sense that like Blizzard wants to move into midnight. They want to give players time with player housing before midnight launches, but not too much time, right? Because that was what we were talking about. We were like, yo, if player housing is coming out in start of December, and then you're waiting 3 months to have midnight come out, player housing will not feel like a midnight experience, right? And that's where Blizzard has to be careful. We've said it before. If they wait too long, midnight will feel bad because player housing won't feel like it was a part of it. And so they need to be careful. And so late January sounds right to me.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
And I'll have a taxidermied horse inside my player house.
Taxidermy invincible.
Yeah,
a stuffed invincible.
I don't know if you can stuff it because there's like rib cages out and stuff, but yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was a little tougher, maybe to pull off. Dude, there was a dungeon in Wrath of the Lich King that had a bunch of taxidermied like monsters and beasts and stuff, and then they like get brought back to life. You have to fight them again. It was low-key kind of an awesome hallway. It was kind of I mean, iconic in the sense that I still remember it, right? They walk in this hallway, there's all these, like, taxidermy beasts in there, giant worms, Yeti things, right? And then they, like, slowly come back to life. Like, an orb travels along and brings them back to life. You have to fight them again. It was a cool experience.
Weird.
Dude, also in WoW news, bro, I don't know if you heard, big breaking news, maybe a little clickbaity, maybe a little misleading, but World of Warcraft and all PC games are now coming to consoles, specifically Xbox.
No. Where did you see that?
So Wowhead had an article on it. Wowhead's article was a little clickbaity, right? They wrote World of Warcraft and all PC games coming to next-gen Xbox console. But
really?
Where it comes from?
Release? Did I miss that?
Yeah, dude, it was big news. So
okay, keep talking about it.
So specifically, sorry, I was sipping my lemonade. I'm a little dehydrated, but also...
No, you're fine.
Okay, so...
How did I miss that?
Yeah, so basically Windows Central...
Oh my gosh, you idiot. Sorry.
So Windows Central said, similarly, the Xbox full screen experience will allow you to exit out of full Windows if you want to, and run competing stores like Steam, Epic Games Store, Microsoft's own Battle.net, and Riot Client, and indeed anything else you want. Indeed, you could run Adobe CC or Microsoft Office on the next Xbox if you choose. That's right. If you're listening to the Warband, you heard it here first. You can now run Microsoft Excel on next-gen Xbox. It's finally coming Xbox. That's why they've been simplifying Microsoft Excel lately. They also said exiting out to Windows will be for those who want to access games traditionally, not available on Xbox, including PlayStation games on Steam, mouse and keyboard first games like League of Legends, or even classic games from GOG and the like. You'll also be able to run PlayStation's PC titles like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man on the next Xbox purchased via Steam or Epic Games. You'll be able to play World of Warcraft on the next Xbox via Battle.net. And that's a quote from Windows Central. You will be able to play World of Warcraft on the next Xbox via Battle.net. You'll also be able to install practically any game that runs on Windows, giving you access to decades upon decades of content, all on a single device. So basically, there's a lot to unpack here, and also very little to unpack here at the same time. Right? So essentially, what they're saying is the next-gen Xbox will run like an Xbox unless you want it to run like a PC. So it kind of just has both, right? It's pretty much just running Windows. It's pretty much just running Windows, but it can look like an Xbox if that's what you prefer. Run Xbox games like you're familiar with running Xbox games, etc., but can run like a PC. Where people are panicking, or maybe not panicking, maybe where people are blowing this out proportion, is now people are going, is the whole add-on change because of this Xbox move?
Yes. 100%, 1000%.
Maybe. My
You
answer.
don't think?
My answer to this is somewhat. Like I think it's a somewhat. I don't think it's the answer. I think Blizzard is honest when they say that the biggest thing for them is they can't create the experiences and the mechanics that they want players to experience, right? And the add-ons are hurting boss battles and whatnot. I fully believe that. I fully believe that. So I'm not contesting that. But also I've been in enough work meetings and business meetings where sometimes there's multiple things, right, that lead to a certain solution. And I would not be surprised if they're like, hey guys, heads up, World of Warcraft will be coming to Xbox. Maybe not necessarily as an Xbox title, but you can technically play it on Xbox. You'll want a keyboard and a mouse. You could play on controller. I never advise that, by the way. You could play on controller, but right. And by the way, in this system that they're describing, I don't see any reason why add-ons can't exist, right? So it sounds like add-ons could exist anyways, and could still be installed anyways, if that's what you want. What I do see in this situation, though, and in this case, is that they're probably sitting in that meeting like, okay, we have the opportunity for a lot of new players to come into World of Warcraft. They're technically on console. What can we do to make it as easy to onboard them as possible, right? That, to me, feels like that's a big part of the conversation, right? The big part also is Microsoft just paid a lot of money for that IP, and so they probably want to make sure that IP feels good when it comes to their console. So it's kind of this like all around like kind of vagueness, right? But basically, it works in the same way it works on like Steam Deck and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think there is a lot to unpack there. I mean, we're seeing a big push for, I don't know if we've ever said this on the podcast, but I've definitely said it out loud before that I was pretty convinced that like most likely the next Xbox was basically just going to be a glorified PC that you can play on your couch.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like at the end of the day, I don't want to give my like teenager a computer because it feels more like they have access to things that I wouldn't want them to have access as a teenager.
By the way, I agree. And for we were joking about all the dads who listen, but I do think this is a relatable comment.
Oh yeah,
dude,
100%.
I had a PC. I'm 32, so I had a PC in my bedroom starting in middle school, right? And which I don't think was the norm in that age, like back then. Right? That would have been like 2000, 2007, right? That definitely was not the norm. No. But like that, I grew up around computers a lot. I don't ever remember a time where we had less than 2 computers in our home.
Yeah.
Because of my dad's work and stuff, it just was something that we just always had. And so I was on them. And dude, knowing the stuff I got into as like a child on the internet, right? Like there's no shot I want I would want my son to have like unfettered internet access, right? Like you just know, right? Like you're like, dang it, I've done those things. Like that wasn't healthy for me. It's not gonna be healthy for you. At the same time, I agree. Right? All these systems are going in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary to think about, to be honest.
Yeah, right?
Like, what do we do?
Like, no. I mean, obviously, it's already been going that direction, right? You see, like, all this stuff going with, like, Roblox and crap happening with that. But it just continues to raise that question of, like, yeah. Anyways, that's so weird to think about. But anyways, WoW is now coming out. But ultimately, it's not just WoW. It's any PC game, right? And you knew the day had to come eventually, right? So that's where
I knew it was coming.
That's where the interesting conversation is at, because they're not recoding World of Warcraft for console.
No.
The console just happens to now be able to run PC games. I don't think these changes are due to it coming out to console. I think that, though, is a part of the conversation. I think it would have happened regardless. Maybe they're going a little stronger on ability pruning for that reason. But at the same time, ability pruning is probably necessary. When you have to have in-game devices to show you which buttons to press next,
it's probably
getting a little too much, right? So I'm okay with them pruning too much and then slowly giving back, because you have to remember Blizzard's like WoW is always adding more abilities. So if they prune, they might as well just prune a lot and then slowly add back in.
I agree. Yeah. No. I mean, I think this air quotes console push, right?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. I really do. I think having WoW more accessible for people, it just makes sense. My question is, this is the big question. Will it be available on I know it's like a meme now that they call it the Xbox, like the handheld Xbox. Oh my goodness, why can't I think? It's the Rogue something. Oh my goodness. They like brand it as the Xbox version of it. I'm going to look it up right now. And it's funny because it's really not like anything. It's not related to Microsoft or Xbox at all. It's the Rogue Ally. They call it the Rogue Xbox Ally, but then it's really not any way tied back to Xbox, because you can literally just buy a regular Rogue Ally and do the same exact things on it. But now I'm like, dang, like, can we soon be able to play WoW in a handheld environment? Because that'd be kind of sick.
Steam Deck can.
Oh, that's right.
Steam Deck's been able to do that forever. And there's other basically handheld PCs that can do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
at the end of the day, right? Like, it's not really like anything new, right? Like the irony is like I love iPhones, bro. If I have to get another phone, which I do, it's gonna be an iPhone. It's just convenient in many ways for me.
I know it, yeah. Right?
I know it. I mean, I used to use Android, but I just don't. I spent too much time tinkering. I spent too much time tinkering on Android. Also, just with what I do for work, I work with a lot of Apple products, so it makes it easy to transfer stuff. But that's beyond the point. I'm saying that because I know I'm gonna say, hey, I like Apple, like iPhones, and I'm gonna get 12 comments that are like Android supremacy. But the reason why I say all of that though is right, like how often though do like how often do features come to like iPhones that people are like, well, Android's had that for 7 years, right? Like, and that,
like all the time,
Yeah, and that's pretty much what's happening right now, right? Like PC players are like, well, my computer's always been able to play any game I want to play, and then like other people are like, you've always been able to have handheld, game, right? It's just like all this, but at the end of the day, right? Like Microsoft is finally stepping back and going, okay, we're confident that we have a way for this to work well and smooth and not be overly complex for our users. And so I'm interested to see what that ends up looking like. I'm fascinated, by the way, by the fact that World of Warcraft itself, not just Battle.net. Battle.net was referenced twice, and World of Warcraft specifically was referenced as a game that will be available. Which tells me that Windows is probably Microsoft probably proud of that. They're probably proud that this is available.
I mean, if you ask me, I've been a firm believer that not all of them, because I think all of them might be a little far-fetched, but I do think a lot of the changes that have been made in the game resulting around one button, around add-ons related, all to this kind of deal. I'm not saying they're fully influenced by this, but I think there's like a 1% influence by this.
They all help it. Right, which tells me that there's too many recent changes.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yes.
Yeah, too many recent changes that I don't think it's unintentional. I'm not convinced it's the only reason, but I think it's a heavy influence. I think it's a heavy influence.
Yes, I do agree with that.
You know what else I'll say? And this is definitely kind of toxic of me. So, toxicity warning for anybody listening. I get it. I get it. But all I'm going to say is listen to my statement and then hear out my explanation, okay? Because I think I can explain it well. For the longest time, and I don't actually lean this way with this update, but for the longest time, I was pretty firm when I would talk to people in saying that if WoW ever came to console, I would use an add-on to find out who was playing on console and not invite them to my groups. Yeah. I was very adamant on that. Like, and not just adamant that was my behavior, but adamant that like that would be the norm. Like the norm would be that you would use add-ons to figure out who, or the game would just tell you, one or the other, who was playing on console.
I feel like the game would probably tell you.
All right, who was playing on console, and then I would not play with those people. And now somebody's listening like, oh, why would you discriminate? Why would you like not want to play with them? Like, what's going on? Multiple reasons. One, WoW has a very complex and complex and detailed rotation and character abilities menu, right? There's a lot. And when you open up your spell book, there's a lot. When you put all your stuff, and not just your spells and abilities, but also your trinkets, your mounts, your portals, your everything on your spell bars, your bars get packed. Like, there is so much stuff there. And the idea of somebody trying to keep up with that on controller is a lot, right? And I do know people who play on controller, and I often joke with them of like, dude, I actually think you'd be better on mouse and keyboard. And I don't take that back, because I think it's a true statement. I don't think I'm lying. I don't think I'm being dishonest. I genuinely think that they could be even quicker and perform even better on the meters with a mouse and keyboard. They don't want to. That's on them. Like, they enjoy the game,
fine, right?
They enjoy the game the way they enjoy the game, right? And so, like, power to them. But right off the bat, I'm like, okay, these players, like, just inherently on controller, in my mind, I logically cannot wrap my head around them performing as well as mouse and keyboard, because there's just so much. There's so much crap that now you're trying to use 6 buttons to do it all, right? And now you have to like hit a button and then move your mouse to like, or your joystick to try and trigger the right wheel that comes up on that button. And so now you're using a joystick that should be using for movement. All these things, right? Like, all these things, I'm just like, it just, WoW feels too complex. And then on top of that, I knew if WoW came to console, it wouldn't have, or I assumed, I should say, it wouldn't have add-on support. And so all of a sudden, now you're playing with players who are using tools that are less effective and unable to have access to add-ons that do a lot of the calculations for you in the game. So my thing was like, dude, why would I invite somebody who played on console if I knew that it was going to hurt me in my dungeon run? And again, somebody's listening like, well, Swag, it's not always about you. You know, like, this is, other people matter too. I get it. I get that other people matter. I'm not saying they don't. All I'm saying is, if I have a plus 12 key and I'm struggling to push that 12 key up to a 13, and I'm having a hard time, I'm really struggling, why would I ever make any decision that would make that harder, right? And we do it all the time. We look at people's rating, right? We look at people's eye level.
Oh, yeah, right.
We look at their class to see if their class is a good mix for the group that we have. We're already doing that. We're already discriminating based, and I say discriminating, but I mean it in like in a wise kind of way. You're looking at players' details and going, okay, which player is going to help me accomplish this goal the best? If you were an adventurer out there in the world, right? Like, you're on Azeroth and you need to make a party to go slay this dragon, right? And you're like looking out to see who you're gonna pick the people who seem like they can get the job done, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're doing, right? And so that's what I'm doing in the group. And I firmly believe that, like, if WoW came to console, that would be the case. I would not want to play with players on console in competitive content, right? I just wouldn't want to in difficult content, because I need every advantage I can get, and that becomes a disadvantage. With that said, now that I've laid all that out, now that like 10% of our listeners are ticked off at me right now, let me say this.
They've already clicked out.
If Blizzard pulls this off right, and it sounds like they're probably going to, one, those rotation questions I had are simplified. So now all of a sudden it does look more plausible on a controller to keep up than it did before. I still won't say it's the same, but better. It's much better, especially if you look at the healer changes that are coming. I haven't even looked at DPS or tank changes. The healer changes are insane, dude. They're like nuking most abilities that healers have, which is wild to me. So healer changes coming.
That's crazy.
And then I look at the fact that add-ons for combat are going away, but also there's nothing in me that believes add-ons won't be available if you're playing on the next gen Xbox. Because again, the fact that they can confidently say that you can play any PC game that you want hopefully leans to the fact that it's not actually reliant necessarily on every company creating their own little storefront for Xbox, but rather that Xbox can just go browse the web and get whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's the hope, right? That's the hope. And if that is the case, if it does work out and there is a Curse Forge, now they still have access to the non-combat add-ons, right? Maybe UI changes and stuff like that. And they have a simplified rotation. All of a sudden, I now find myself backtracking on what I previously believed would be the case. And so I went from being a console doomer, like, dude, if WoW comes to console, it's going to be an overall bad experience. Because, again, I don't want anybody to experience WoW in a negative light. And if that means that you're starting on console and nobody wants to play with you because you're on console, you're gonna hate the game.
Yeah, you're
right?
not going to want to keep playing.
Not going to keep playing. And so now I've kind of changed. I'm like, you know what? With these changes, we could see a new generation of WoW players. We need more WoW players, dude. We need more people playing the game. We can't all be us like 30 to 50-year-old dudes, right? Like we got.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
WoW isn't what it used to be.
Mm-mm.
Nah, dude. Everyone used to play WoW. Even what's his name? I mean, it's funny. It's like it's weird to think about. Like there's a time where like a lot of people did play WoW. Like I feel like anytime I meet someone and like I tell them like, oh, I play WoW, like casually, not like blah, blah, blah. like a guy that I work with that he was traveling out and he's like, I don't know him very well, but he just traveled to help me do some stuff at work, and I was just shooting the bull with him, and I was like, oh yeah, I play WoW. He's like, oh yeah, I used to play WoW like back during like Burning Crusade, and like I was in like one of the top guilds, and we used to do like all this stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, like it's crazy, like
dude, people have great memories,
that like WoW used to be like such a popular game at one point. Not saying it's not as popular, but maybe I am saying that. Maybe it's not as popular. I don't know. And is it revolved around the fact that it's purely on PC only? I don't know.
Right? You think
I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly, right. Now WoW always was on PC and console always was a thing, but there is that moment where it's just like, how do you make WoW more appealing? And part of the answer is, well, how do you make WoW more accessible? Right? It's those go hand in hand now. And so I'm curious where it goes, because I don't think WoW's any worse of a game. Contrary to what Doomers say, I don't think WoW's any worse of a game today than it was back in Wrath, back in BC. There's things that maybe don't exist in the game that did then, and there's things that exist now that didn't then, right? Like, it's a different game. I don't think it's any worse of a game. In many ways, I actually find WoW now more fun than I even did back then, which sounds crazy. I think the leveling experience needs to fix. We've talked about that on 8,000 of our episodes. But the end game content, dude, is just so good. It is so good. Raids are so good. Mythic Plus is so good, right? Even just having solo queue for PvP has actually been really fun for me. Delves, dude. Even just the addition of Delves, not my thing, but man, so many people love them.
It's a lot of people's thing, right?
So good. By the way, let me make sure nobody's leaving comments in the live chat. I always forget when we're doing this.
Yeah, no worries. No, I agree with everything. So, hey, just a couple talking points, some weekly chores here. Yeah. We do have the midnight beta release that's coming out on, I literally just had it, November 11th. That way, if you want to pre-release or pre-order midnight, then you get expansion to the beta. Sounds like you, my friend, might be doing that. We'll find out. I mean, I've been messing with the alpha, so I got a lot of my fix it. I haven't had a chance to really test too many of the dungeons on M+, right? Which is where beta can be really fun for me, doing like M+ keys. But I will say the overall, I enjoyed the testing I did in alpha. I'm really thankful that Blizzard let me into that and that they gave me access. Super nice of them. And guys, I'm excited. I know we're hearing lots of doom and gloom about midnight, but man, everything I've had my hands on looked at has been exciting to me. And I get it. Really exciting. I get it, dude. They're still working to get everybody happy with all the add-on changes. That's whatever to me. That's whatever. They'll never make everyone happy, dude.
No, that's whatever to me. I'm excited about like all the other stuff, dude. Silvermoon City, gorgeous, absolutely freaking beautiful. That Argentina, beautiful. The dungeons that I've gone into, really cool, like really cool dungeons. The zones I've checked out have been super well done. Player housing, unbelievable. Player housing is unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. So I think they're knocking it out of the park with this, and I think people are hyper focusing on one thing that isn't even finished yet.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What is this note that you have in here about Delve's World First? I didn't see that, to be honest.
Yes. So let me pull this up for you because
we can touch on it real quick before we get into some listener questions.
Yeah, so it looks like I think I had it open, and then I think I went somewhere else with it. So I'm trying to make sure I can find it again. But basically, it looks like there's going to be a leaderboard for the first 1,000 people who kill the, I guess, like the skull boss or whatever, question mark boss for delves.
Yeah, the seasonal boss.
Yep, the seasonal delve boss. So, so it's like a Hall of Fame type thing, sort of like how we have for Cutting Edge Raiders. The first 1,000 players in your region to defeat Nuleus in his lair on tier question without any other players in your party before the release of the next season of Delves. So you'll get a title called the Fabled Vanquisher of Nalius, which is pretty cool. So yeah,
that is cool.
Well, I think what happened is I think they saw everybody get really hyped for Nexus. Was it Nexus Princess that was in there?
Yeah.
Right,
that was a good fight. That was a good fight.
People were hyped about that. Like, people were super hyped about it. Will I be one of the first 1,000? Absolutely not. But I think that's a great way. I think it's a great way to build hype, right? For sure.
I think it is.
So yeah, first 1,000 players is a solo achievement, so it's not really like based on your raid team or anything. Go in there.
Yeah, it's They have a similar achievement now. It's just not world's first kind of
Yeah. So my question for you.
Good.
What percentage of them will be blood decays?
I don't know. Maybe a lot. I mean, I know Kaiveza wasn't really like a very heal-intensive fight. It was just very like mechanic-driven, and I feel like that's why a lot of people liked it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like annoying like the first two were, where it was very like driven by health and just like doing like one specific mechanic right, where Kaiveza was like, oh, there's multiple mechanics that you have to do right, and it's a one shot if you screw one up.
That's true.
And not just, hey, you just got to kind of stay alive the duration of it. But I mean, there could be a lot of blood decays. It depends. Like I said, it depends on what the fight's like. If it's like Kaiveza, where it's more mechanic driven and it's, hey, you need to do these mechanics or you get one shot, then it could just be anyone really. Or if it's like, no, you just got to stay alive, then yeah, it'll be blood decay.
Yeah. So we'll find out. We'll see. I just think that's interesting.
That's cool. Like, it's a great concept, to be honest. I think it's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited. I think it's time for us to switch gears. And so before we get into our listener questions, I want to share a few things with everybody listening to the podcast. Number one, I want to give a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. If you are subscribed to us on Patreon, it helps out so stinking much with the podcast. If you're interested in subscribing to us on Patreon or supporting this podcast, you can find a link down below in the description. Our Patreon supporters gain access to live recordings of the podcast. So like this week, for example, we are recording this live in the Patreon live recordings channel. People can listen in, leave comments. Sometimes we'll even get to those comments while we're recording. We also create bonus content, which Chick and I will be doing right after this recording today, that we post to the Patreon. And on top of that, just so many other benefits, special channels, and priority access to listener questions. So if you ask a question as a Patreon supporter, we always try to get to your question first. Sometimes we make mistakes, but we generally try to make sure we get your questions answered before we get any other questions answered. And again, if you want to learn more about Patreon, you can check the link down below in the description. On top of that, we also want to give a thank you to Zygor, which is an amazing add-on for World of Warcraft that helps guide you through just about anything in the game that you need help with. Gold making, leveling, getting different achievements and such. You can find it all through Zygor, whether you're a classic player or a retail player. I believe they even have remix stuff now. So link down below in the description. That link helps support our channel, and you can use code SWAGLOCK for 20% off. Lastly, and this one is my favorite to talk about every single time, Chicken and I want to invite you to our guild, Astra. It's an amazing guild. It's not necessarily a guild for the podcast. It's a guild that we have actually found together and really enjoyed being a part of. And now I want to offer an invite out to you if you're listening to the podcast. This is a guild of really a wide range of players across the board, a very social guild, a very encouraging and active guild, one that is not toxic, one that wants to help you experience different elements of World of Warcraft, whether that's M+, raiding, etc. You can do so through our guild, Astra. So if you want to learn more about Astra, you can join my Discord. There's a link down below in the description. When you get there, and there's a channel in the Discord that is called Join Astra. By going to that channel, you can find all the info that you need to find about joining our guild. With that said, we are now going to move on to our listener questions. If you ever want to leave a question for the podcast, you can do so by going to my Discord and going down to the Pod Questions channel and leave a question there. And of course, if you're a Patreon supporter, go to the Patreon Questions channel. But Chicken, what is our first question this week? I know we missed one last week.
Oh, yeah, so we can do good old D-Tracks here. He put in... He kind of had two questions, not necessarily both... Well, the one wasn't necessarily a question. He did support, and it seems like there was a lot of people in the question kind of channel in the Discord that supported the idea of us, maybe doing some kind of race...
Yeah,
with tanks next season of our choosing, and maybe we'll do it. We'll see. But that was just a quick note. He was one of the people that supported doing that, and maybe we'll talk about doing it. I don't know. We'll see. But his question was, do you think maxing out a tune for Lemix, which I've never heard it called that before? It's kind of dope.
I think you said that last time I called it Lemix.
Oh, did I actually?
Yeah. You said the exact same thing.
Anyways, maxing out a tune for Legion Remix will transfer to get a little boost when they come back into retail. The answer to that question is 100% yes. If you need to level something, 100% just do it in a remix. I think that's the gist of the question, right?
I think he's asking if you'll get like a boost in gear or something.
Sorry.
My gut tells me is that there's one armor set everybody gets when they come back from Remix, regardless of how powerful your character is. I don't think any power increase 100%. In Remix outside actually leveling transfers back to retail when you transfer that character over.
Yeah, I probably concede to that as well.
Yep. So, and the hard thing is, I guess if you really want to, you could try to abuse that and crank a character out and then transfer it right now. But if you wait till the end of Remix, then you're really going to be going right into pre-patch probably. So I don't know, but my gut tells me there's no. This isn't factual. I don't have an actual answer, but my gut tells me there's going to be no difference. It would be too complicated too for Blizzard to be like, here's the if this then this for all the gear ratings and stuff. So what I would say is do Remix because it's fun, not because you think you're gonna get a benefit from it in retail, other than like transmog collections, more max level characters, etc., etc. All right,
I agree.
We got a question specifically for Chicken this week that I have been very excited about. So I'm going to read this question for you. We're going to find out what Chicken's answer is. And
I'm ready.
Here we go. This is for Chicken mostly, and a bit of a wager. So, Chicken, if you don't want to accept the wager, you don't have to. I hope you do, though. We'll find out what happens. Since you're familiar with Death Knights, I'm curious how much you know about them, and if you can tell the listeners who the first Death Knights were or their origins. Without aid from any sources, if you get it right, I'll give you 50,000 gold. If you get it wrong, you have to listen to one of the WoW audiobooks.
Wait, where they originated from?
Here's what I'll do. I'll say like who the first Death Knight was or what was their origin.
Well, the first Death Knight was what's his name? Arthas, right?
No.
Wait, what?
No.
No, stop.
No.
What do you mean?
No, it's not. In fact,
No,
it's not.
Stop.
No, it's
You're
not.
gaslighting me.
Arthas is a second generation Death Knight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Riders of the Night or something.
No.
It was Anduin, actually.
Close.
Wait, really?
No, not even.
Oh,
Not even. I'll give you a hint. I think this hint is safe.
Ooh.
I don't know if this counts as aid from any source, but I'm gonna give you a hint. The hint is their name is used in one of the spells that you have as a blood DK.
Their name?
Yes.
Like the that is totally in.
Yeah, but
But I still have no idea.
All right.
What?
All right. Let me give you
the Lich King.
No. Let me give you some lore. So you have generally what are considered the 4 generations of Death Knights. I think it's really 3, but let's say 4, because there is a difference between 3rd and 4th gen Death Knights. But anyways, vague, barely. So the first Death Knights, right? Specifically, the first one, who's the most important, was an orc named Tarangor. Tarangor was the first Death Knight. And how it worked, Gul'dan went to Orgrim Doomhammer, who was the war chief at the time, and Gul'dan didn't want to die because Doomhammer kind of wanted Gul'dan gone. If I get some lore wrong here, I'm sorry. I'm literally just spouting this off the top of my cranium right now. I don't have like any notes or anything, so I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this, but it's been a while. So, anyways, Gul'dan offers to make Death Knights, or these like warriors for Orgrim Doomhammer that can be super powerful and help him out. So Orgrim's like, sure, if you can do that, that's great. Well, Gul'dan had this like council of orcs and some others that he trusted a lot, and he basically turned them into Death Knights by taking their souls and shoving it into human corpses. Was his strategy? Yes, of course, right? Yeah, of course. So he, the first one and the most notable of them all was an orc named Tarangor. And you're probably like, how does that have anything to do with a spell on my spell bar as a blood DK? When Tarangor became a Death Knight, he changed his name from Tarangor to Tarangor Fiend.
Oh.
Gorfiend's Grasp.
Interesting.
Yes. So now you know, right? That's where Gorfiend's Grasp comes from. Now, what's interesting is the first generation of Death Knights, those orcs that had their souls shoved into human bodies, were more spellcaster than warrior, if that makes sense. Because a lot of them were like warlocks and such that then had their souls shoved into human bodies. So a lot of them were more spellcastery. And then you had the second generation of Death Knights. We say second gen, but the only one who's like really notable, if there are even any others, I don't know. But the one who's notable is the Lich King, Arthas Menethil, right? So at this point, Ner'zhul, the orc, had his soul kind of ripped out of his body from Sargeras, or killed... No, what happened to Sargeras? It would have been... whatever his name is. Big Eridar, dude. Anyways, from the Burning Legion, had his soul ripped out of his body, and was basically shoved into the Helmet of Domination and planted on the top of Icecrown Citadel. Or it was just a giant ice spire at that point. It wasn't really a citadel, right? But a giant ice spire in Northrend, right? Anduin goes to Northrend to try and stop this like plague that's happening and kill off one of the Dreadlords who kind of taunted him and was causing a lot of this. When Anduin gets to Northrend, he hears of a legendary sword that can help him out. He goes, he gets that sword. Turns out that sword is a rune blade, right? And it's called Frostmourne, and it starts to influence him and corrupt his mind, turning Arthas Menethil, similar as Anduin, but not Anduin. Arthas Menethil turns him into a Death Knight. And I believe he actually ends up killing himself at some point to like truly be undead. But when he first becomes a Death Knight, he's like not entirely. It's a weird vagueness. Again, I'm just spinning this off the top of my head right now. So he's considered a second generation Death Knight, right? And then you have the 3rd generation Death Knights. So these are Death Knights who are raised going into Wrath of the Lich King. Really is kind of the key area for these Death Knights, but there's some even before them. But 3rd generation are basically Death Knights who are raised by the Lich King Arthas. And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them got their freedom back when they went to try and desecrate a grave or whatever for, again, Light's Hope Chapel. They went to Light's Hope Chapel, and the light there fought back, and in that moment, Arthas was weakened for a second, and they were able to get their freedom. They were angry with the Lich King, and so that kind of became the Ebon Blade that we know now. So your character, Chicken, as a gnome Death Knight, is most likely a 3rd generation Death Knight. Most likely a 3rd generation Death Knight.
Interesting.
The last type of Death Knight, and I know that we're going way deeper into this than anticipated, but I don't care. The last generation Death Knight, the 4th generation, is after we kill the Lich King, Bolvar 4 Dragon becomes the new Lich King, right? And around Legion-ish, right? Legion, BFA, he starts raising new Death Knights.
Whoa.
Yes, and so that's considered 4th generation. Pretty much the same in every way as 3rd generation. Main key differences are 4th generation also includes races that weren't Death Knights before. Worgen, Goblins, Lightforged Grand Knight, like whatever other races there are out there. That includes those. The other notable fact about 4th generation Death Knights is that 3rd generation Death Knights have this like eternal hunger or whatever they call it, where they have to kill things. And if they don't kill things or cause suffering, they go like insane and they experience crazy pain themselves and all that stuff. It was a curse put on them by Arthas to keep them in line and keep them performing. So fun fact, your Death Knight has to inflict pain on other creatures in order to like not go insane. We're not certain that 4th generation Death Knights have that. There's no lore that tells us they do or they don't. So the assumption is that was something the Lich King Arthas did for control, but Bolvar didn't feel the need to do for control because his goal wasn't to control them. And so theoretically 4th generation don't have that, but it's hard to tell. Anyways, those are the 4 generations of Death Knights. 1st generation, though, would have been Terran Gorfiend.
Yeah, I would have never known that.
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't think so, but
There's no way.
It gave me a good excuse to talk about lore for a second, so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I am bound to read something or listen to something.
Dude, I just finished War Crimes. That one was really good.
I mean, if I could find like a free audiobook, I'd probably listen to it.
Do you have Spotify?
Yeah.
Dude,
No,
No, you don't?
Sorry.
Okay. I'll find you something. Or I'll just lend you a book.
I don't want to read. I want to listen.
I'll get you an audiobook, don't worry.
No,
Anyways, so Tiger Ace Ray has a question. He said, now that we're almost a month into Remix, what do you hope will be the next remix between Midnight and The Last Titan?
Ooh. I feel like our answers are probably going to be the same because every time you talk about this, I'm always like, oh, I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like Legion, I feel like the M+ scenario in Legion kind of makes it fun and adds like that extra element to it. But I don't know. Maybe I think it's just got to be WoD, right? I hear the storyline's just to die for.
No, so WoD was a very hated, very, very disliked expansion. But I think there's a lot of really cool things about WoD, especially like leveling in WoD was great.
Yeah.
That I think WoD could be really awesome as a remix because you get to skip maybe the things that people hated about WoD, right? Like the lack of maybe some content that was promised. Who cares about that in remix, right? The pacing of raid releases. Who cares about that in remix, right? All those questions, right? And they could tie things into maybe garrisons, like somehow tie some of it into garrisons. Maybe even like garrisons be a tool to collect more player housing stuff for retail.
Ooh,
that to me could be really cool. Especially at that point, if they could find a way to allow allow remix players to still go into player housing areas. right? That'd be kind of cool. So I've always said WoD. One answer that also popped in my head that's kind of a crazy answer, like kind of an actually crazy answer. But potentially it would be a lot of work, I think, for Blizzard. But like Classic or Cataclysm could even be like two fun ones. Just having like going back into the old world. And the fun thing with like a Classic or a Cataclysm is there's so many different story routes for questing that like every character could basically just do a different experience, which would be really fun.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat. That'd be a lot of work though.
That would be a lot of work, but that could be a really fun one. Also BFA. I think we've had enough time with BFA.
Yeah, I was just gonna say BFA might also be kind of a cool one.
Yeah, but at the same time, like BFA also offers the M+ experience that maybe players are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shadowlands without covenants could be fun. Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, we're running out of time. Your boys gotta use the bathroom, so we gotta wrap up this podcast. TMI right there. But we had a text sent in this week to the podcast. If you ever want to send a text in, you can use the I think send us a text or whatever button it is at the bottom in the chat. But it says, from Zal, hey guys, I'm brand new to WoW Classic. Love the podcast. Keep up the what's new in World of Warcraft this week, because that is awesome. Zal, thank you so much for leaving some encouragement for the podcast. We appreciate it. Sorry that we missed the what's new in WoW last week. We just had a guest on that was honestly such a fun conversation that it kind of just got missed. But always so many things going on. I'm glad that you're enjoying listening to the podcast as a Classic player. Keep us updated on what's going on in Classic. That's awesome.
Yep, I agree.
All right, but with that said, this was a great episode recording with you, Chicken. Everyone, thank you for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Yeah, buddy.